Good morning, students. We are learning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Uh, we are learning Unit 5, and the first chapter in Unit 5 we completed in our last class. Now, today we will look at the next chapter in Unit 5, which is the chapter number 13 in textbook 2. All right. The chapter names Enterprise Software, ERP, SCM, CRM. These are known as enterprise softwares. What are these? We will look at as we progress further. Enterprise software serves the automation or daily day-to-day activities of enterprise to be carried out through computer software. All right, and then um among various enterprise softwares, the popular ones which are being used by several enterprises includes this enterprise resource planning, ERP. You might have heard about ERP, and there are some institutes which are giving coaching for ERP packages, and you will get different ERP softwares by different vendors with different names. ERP is a generic term that stands to describe a software that automates the task of enterprises. Next one is okay. Example, you might have heard about this. The most famous one is SAP's. SAP. SAP is an ERP software. SAP training. There are other examples as well, like Microsoft Dynamics, and there is ERP Next. These are ERPs: SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, ERP Next. SCM. SCM stands for Supply Chain Management. Have you wondered any time how the food items or any other product reaches you? It reaches you through um, a huge supply chain. You know, it's like by going through various um people and companies and even geographical locations. So there is a need to manage that supply chain. So to manage supply chain, there are again some softwares. The examples of SCM includes Team Foundation Server. There is a tool called as Team Foundation Server. There is a Bitbucket server. Several are there. I'm just mentioning here one or two. There are courses you will find in institutes, just coaching centers, or training institutes, or even in colleges and universities. Some of the tools may be taught, or the concepts behind the tools may be taught. Finally, customer relationship management, CRM. CRM is also very essential element of any enterprise. Without customer, there is no business. And customer relationship management plays a vital role in the sustainability of the business in the enterprise. For instance, you have salesforce.com. It provides a CRM which is used by enterprise. And Microsoft Dynamics can also be used as a CRM software here. Microsoft. Microsoft Dynamics is having ERP functions as well as CRM functions. These are the uh, applications or tools for an enterprise. Going ahead, we will look at the anatomy of a large enterprise. Okay, what does a large enterprise comprises of? What are its components? What are its subsystems? And there is this figure here, core enterprise data, which includes this supply chain management, customer relation management, and enterprise resource planning. In SCM, uh, the departments might include purchases, shipment, purchase. Uh, a manufacturing industry has to purchase a product from the supplier in order to create something else out of it. Purchase is a essential component of any enterprise. Then shipment, once you here you need to consider there are several cases. I am just trying to explain here with one or two examples, but then it is too vast to explain every case. So you can just imagine. One thing is, there are some enterprises who purchase raw material from other suppliers or other enterprises and produce a product and ship it to the customer, or they produce a product and don't ship. Some other enterprise would ship. So it all depends. Okay, this is journal component structure. General component includes this purchase, shipment, which is a part of SCM, supply chain management. Okay, as part of CRM, it is customer marketing and service. Customers are there anyway, and marketing and service are also part of CRM. When an enterprise does marketing, most of the time customers would get to know about the product, and therefore here the organization or an enterprise is providing a service to the customer, right? So it's some form of service. There is a service industry as well that performs only service without any um, concrete product. You know, there are many enterprises, different types. This order is a, a part of both SCM and CRM. When you can ship a product only when customer give order. If customer don't place any order, where is the question of shipment? So order is there, and order is related to customer and a shipment. So this Venn diagram shows that it is a part of the intersection of SCM and CRM, okay, common to both. Followed by this ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. And this ERP has got lot many functions like accounting, HR, assets, MES, energy, execution, and it shares ERP shares inventory with SCM, billing with CRM, and all the three has got a common function which is planning. All right, these are the core enterprise data. Uh, if you go through this, uh, this explains whatever I just discussed. An enterprise has customers whom it reaches out through marketing and sales campaign, and customer place orders for products. The organization then deliver products from an inventory and send to its customers via shipments. These are all described describes the figure. Okay, I think MES stands for Manufacturing Execution System. MES, Manufacturing Execution System, that deals with manufacturing as well as executing all that plans made by the organization. And then strategic value provided by the corporation is in planning and coordinating. Okay, SCM deals with sales order, issue purchase order, controlling the inventory of raw and finished goods, shipping them to the customers. These are the tasks involved under SCM, supply chain management. And most of what remains fall within the purview of the core ERP system includes financial accounting, dealing with costing of all work, assets and other inputs, billing and counting, income revenue, planning all operations, and managing employees. Attracting customer through sales and marketing, and servicing them afterwards, handled by CRM systems. And as explained earlier, there is an overlap. When dealing with packaged enterprise software, or for that matter, SaaS offering, these are part of SaaS offering. It is important to recognize that different products may include or exclude overlapping function. Now, when an enterprise makes a decision to move to cloud for its enterprise application, let us say it is going for all the three: SCM, CRM, and ERP, or any one of them, or two of them, or all. When it is moving into cloud for this enterprise application needs, cloud's SaaS offering, software as a service, it includes uh, enterprise applications service. All right, because these are softwares, and it depends on cloud provider what functions it is providing, and whether that overlap is being handled separately or by integrating them. It is all decided by the cloud and vendor who is providing this enterprise application. And moving ahead with uh, the the people or the organizations which are associated with an enterprise, they are the partners. They are people and organization. Excuse me. Corporations need to deal with other organizations such as their customers or suppliers, and they also need to deal with people in these organizations as well as individuals who are the consumers of their products. Early information systems kept track of customers, suppliers, and people separately. You know, customers, suppliers, and people. People, for instance, if you are associated with an organization, that organization has a clerk. That clerk is not direct supplier. He may be counted as under a people category. The early information system, traditional information system, in other words, apparently separated these customers, suppliers, and people and handled them based on the application. And then a consumer complainant who happened to be a senior executive of a major corporate customer would not be treated specially by call center employee, because this has been segregated in a traditional system. The drawback of this segregation is that even a senior executive of a major customer, for instance, you have got your enterprise, your customer is, say, Dell company. A senior executive from Dell company calls your call center employee, and that call center employee is treating him as an individual, not as a customer, or as a people, not as customer, but he has to be considered as customer because he is an executive employee in that organization. That was the drawback of traditional information system. And now the current practice is to unify customer, supplier, and people models wherever possible. You have to integrate them. And this diagram shows that how it is realized in an application, how people, or how partners, in other words, partners are realized. This is inherently a ER diagram sort of thing, or class diagram representing the tables. You have to have tables to create a software application. There is a partner table, there is a partner role table, and both are connected. This partner table's role is partner role is means the it denotes the role performed by this partner, and every partner would have an partner ID and other fields here shown in this table: first name, last name, and partner ID. These three are the um, attributes of this table, followed by partners role table having partner ID, role ID, and description. Here, customer role ID is 1 and partner ID is something. Employee role ID, contact role ID, customer role ID. And customer role ID, you see, wherever you find customer, role ID is same. Partner ID might differ, but role ID is same. So from the role ID, it can be known that this one is a customer, and this prospective customer, that person may turn out to be a customer in future. That is having a role ID of 2, and partner has got 2 further connections: organization and person. Organization name and tax ID, person first name, last name, and SS number, that is social security number. This mainly because I think they are writing this from US point of view, so that here we can put Aadhaar number, okay, in place of SSN. Organization role, in that you have customer, prospect, supplier, person role, contractor, employee, contact. These are all created in the form of tables and tracked them based on the tables. And what is the advantage? All right, this is a UML class diagram. Here it is mentioned that it's a UML because UML class diagram, one of the use is to represent or render a tables, ER structure. All right. Next, UML you are learning. Please go through the concepts of UML and try to understand this one, earlier one. What is this notation? What is this notation? What is this? And all the notations of this uh, class diagram. Try to relate to the concepts which you are learning, so that you get a real word example for the conceptual concept. This one is partner communication model. So partner communicate with the contact mechanism. Contact mechanism is having postal address, electronic address. Communication event table has got event ID, partner ID. It's not shown here, it has been suppressed. Some of the attributes and operations can be suppressed within a class in a class diagram in UML. And here communication in partner role, communication description, contact mechanism. These are communication event table. And mm, these are the you know classes that will keep track of how a partner communicates with another partner. And here it records the information customer whose partner ID is this and event ID is this, and communication descriptor is invoice reminder, and contact mechanism is the address. This is the postal address. All right, here it is email address. How a uh, partner can contact another partner. Moving forward, it is a product, that is the next core element in an enterprise. Enterprises or organization produces as well as uses products. These can be goods or services. And many products are produced or consumed by an organization. And therefore, it is important to classify them, such as by model, grade, segment, or other product category. Okay, what to which category the product belongs. That one is depicted in this class diagram. You see here there is feature applicability, from date to date, type of product, from which date to which date you can use. Category classification, from date to date is primary. Is it a primary product or a product assembled from other products? Product feature, what may be the product feature, feature ID and description. For example, if the product is a pen, feature ID, pen would have uh, pen color, pen width, its thickness, its height. That ID is given for each one and description is provided. And for each product, there would be several product features, and each product would belong to a product category. And this price component determines the price of the product based on the feature. Uh, there would be pens which will cost say 1000. There would be pens which would cost 2 rupees. What is that? It is decided by some features. Even a product company, a product company also decides sometimes the price of the pen. And the other attributes includes from amount to amount. Okay, this is amount and order type. And then here you have service, you have serialized item, non-serialized item. This facility means inventory facility. If it is a goods will be stored in inventory. This entire depiction is about products. within a organization. And here product supply model. Products have to be supplied. If you generate product, you don't keep it with you. You have to release them, and you have to sell them. You have to do marketing. So product supplier, reorder guideline, organization, goods, facility. Product supplier has lead time, preference, rating, contract price. Okay, the supplier would decide based on uh, several other factors. What should be the price, and what should be the rating, preference, and all. Then reorder guidelines. When you are manufacturing something, you require raw material. If that raw material gets over, you need to give an order to refill. Okay, refill in the sense to bring some more quantity. That is reorder guidelines. When to reorder, why to reorder, how to reorder, what quantity, what is the reorder level. Sometimes some people, what they do is they maintain at least, if I take an example of rice bag, at least one rice bag must be there always. Okay, if they bring three, after they bring three, two get sober, and one is left. When one is left, what they do, they'll go and buy more two, because if one, well, or more three, one is the reorder level. If one bag means, if it is just opened, then reorder another three bags. Like that, reorder level, date, from which date to which date, and from which organization this goods should be reordered, and how should be reordered, what is the facility. These all reorder guidelines is one table. Moving further, orders. Orders are important elements of an enterprise. Orders for sales and purchases. A corporation conducts business by accepting sales order and then shipping goods or delivering services against these orders. Okay, and then here also there is a figure. There is order. Every order will have a order ID and the date and entry date. An order consists of order items. One order can have multiple items, and every item that is a part of one order would have order item ID, its quantity, its unit price, its shipping instructions. Sometimes when you buy from, say, um, Zomato or Swiggy, what you can mention that you want spicy something, some order to be spicy, so that instructions you can provide. Deliver by, you may say that you, the uh, the item should reach by sometime, say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something, the description. And this order item includes the product, individual product, and its feature. To prepare, let us say, biryani, you need to have so many other items which are required, other products. Okay, those products make up one biryani, and say three different types of biryanis may make one order. It is like that. And every product has got its feature, and placed by this order, placed by information, to whom bill should be sent, where it should be shipped, and order shipment quantity, and then partner role, shipment item. These also would um, come into picture here, and have to be considered, because a partner would perform shipping. Let us say a partner is placing an order, let us say the customer is also a partner, and the person who is shipping is also a partner. Therefore here, uh, this partner role would get from placed by and shipped to, customer details from here, and supplier, the one who uh, delivers that one's detail here. All right, and then partner depending on partner role here. All are partners, but they would be identified or distinguished by their role. Here from here, if it is coming a an instance from this side, from left side, it would imply that role would be customer. If it is coming from right side, it would be an employee or a third party. And this order item, when it has to be shipped through shipment item, how many quantities, and that would be a part of main table, which is shipment. This shipment would keep track of how many items uh, you are shipping in one shipment. When you go to ATM, you would have sessions. In one session, you can perform 3 or 4 transactions, right? Say 3 4 transactions. So here, you can have in one shipment several shipment items. Another important element is a code. What is a code? The receiving organization responds with a code containing code items. If uh, an organization is purchasing uh, products from another organization, then it invites quotations and agreements from other companies, and then they would quote. Here this is all about that quoting. You are an enterprise, you are buying items from another enterprise, and then you are creating some sort of uh, a final product, and then shipping. To obtain the order, an enterprise has to uh, provide quote whenever a quotation is called. So that quote has these components. Quote model: when there is a request for an item, through quote item, quote is created and submitted to a partner, and then there is agreement established between uh, partners, means the one uh, who gets that tender or quote, and the one who is giving the order. Then agreement item, on which they are agreeing, what are the terms. And then that includes price component essentially. Based on product feature, price is always decided based on product features, and this product feature is part of an order item, which will be part of quote item, for which further is a part of quote. Okay, this is like the entire phase of quotation and agreement, represented as quote model. And execution is tracking work. In addition to supplying goods, corporations also provide services, okay, that involve expanding some works. What is a service? Mm, for instance, you go for okay, IT filing. Okay, suppose if you would like to file IT income tax, you would go to a CA. That CA is providing some kind of service to you. You provide the details to him, and then he files your tax. For that also, uh, billing has to be done. All right, and tax work orders, sales orders, or internal requirements. These things have to be tracked. How these things would be tracked? Through work model. What does work model comprises of? It comprises of a work order. What is a work order? It has project name, work order ID, date, and rate type. These include and identify a work order, which further has got sales order item, internal requirement item, and in order to do that work, there is some effort. What is effort ID? Description, planned start date, end date, actual start date, end date, status, cost. And how are you breaking down the effort? And finally, when the work order is placed and effort is uh, you know made to fulfill this work order fulfillment happens. All right. And when there are efforts being made, payments have to be done. And how payments would be done? Perhaps through timesheets. For instance, in a company when you work, you have to have in time and out time. And totally you might have to spend 8 hours or 9 hours or 7 hours. It depends on the type of work and organization. So this effort is made by some party is an employee or contractor or at some other level, and this effort is being recorded in the timesheet entry that contains a timesheet which has timesheet ID and date. And then there is a table rate. To this party, rate has to be paid. To which party rate has to be paid? That is, it can be an employee or contractor or level, and that is as party is assigned. If this party class or table would take care of assigning a party who's having a particular rate to the effort, to the work that is to be done. That this is all about rates and timesheets. Okay. Coming to billing. Billing, once the product have been delivered, customer must be billed and payment must be received. Again, as you know, there are orders nowadays on e-commerce websites which are COD, cash on delivery after the product is delivered, or it can be prepaid orders. Before a product is delivered, you pay the total amount. Here, once product has, it is written here that once product is delivered, customer must be billed and payment should receive. And payments need to be disbursed for purchases made from suppliers. An enterprise might be an intermediary between a, a supplier and a customer. That intermediary is buying from supplier and selling to customer, and that there also payments have to be made to supplier. Therefore, billing is quite an important aspect of an enterprise. Without billing, the whole system collapses because there is no billing, there is no money received, there is no money paid. What business is doing? Nothing. Billing involves raising an invoice on a partner. Partner can be a receiving from invoice from a supplier. Means it can be here you are sending an invoice or you can receive an invoice depending on whether you are buying or you are selling. So invoices can be sales invoices or purchase invoices. And an invoice comprises of many invoice items. Here, if you look at this billing model, it shows that there is an invoice has partner, invoice role. Okay, invoice as a partner means invoice has to be sent to partner or received from partner. So here that's why it's connected to partner. And this invoice role is whether it is sales invoice or purchase invoice. So you have sales invoice or purchase invoice. And then product, product feature, inventory item. These all together enclosed within invoice item. How invoice is generated? By knowing what are the products, what are its features, and what is the inventory item. And finally, here bill item is how billing is done based on shipment cost, effort, timesheet entry, order item. Based on all this, its price is calculated and item is billed. And this one is the payment model in which you have got bank account, financial transaction, payment, invoice item, partner. So what is happening here? There is a bank account. Through bank account, you can perform financial transactions. Transactions can be withdrawal or deposit. You get a receipt, and when you deposit, when you get withdrawal, you get the amount, the currency notes, disbursement, and this payment you get a receipt. On the receipt, you will find the ID, effective date, reference number, and amount. And again, this payment is connected to partner as the partner is the one who might be paying or receiving the payment. Accounting, Financial transactions such as payments affect the financial position of an enterprise. And essentially, this financial position of the enterprise is captured by its accounting model, wherein accounting transactions are created to reflect the impact of each business transaction. Here, the figure shows the accounting. Here you have accounting transaction, GL account, GL account. Okay. GL account is nothing but the general ledger account. It has GL ID, name, description. Examples are cash account, accounts receivable, payments on, travel expenses. These are different headings. These are known as headings. So under different headings, general ledger would record the accounts. So the general ledger account would be the chargeable general ledger account. You have to pay to for general ledger account. And budget entity, it can be planned budget or work order budget. Here accounting transaction, whatever transactions you are performing, that has to be chargeable GL account. That has to be, you know, this general ledger account. In that book, you have to have that information. What transactions have been made, and these transactions, they can be external account transaction or internal account transaction. Can be debit, receipt, sales, transfer, payment, invoice, different um, transactions. Whatever you are doing, you have to record in your general ledger. And this budget entity would have plant and work order, because based on work order, budget would be decided. Enterprise processes. This, how much is there, we'll see. If this one is the, okay, this one is the last. We would complete this so that we can complete our chapter number 13, which is enterprise application, ERP, SCM, and CRM. Original ERP systems were designed around the accounting function, seeking it to expand to cover different types of business transactions. Depending on their roles, user would have different types of business transactions. To sell, people would have access to order creation and invoice generation, but not on effort tracking or shipment. The ability to easily track an order from inception to collection of payment was missing. It was like based on the people. If a person is salesperson would have access only to order creation and invoice generation, not on effort and other aspects. This end to end, this is known as end to end tracking is missing, which is here termed as order to cash process. And if an organization were to build its system from ground up, it should ideally implement end to end process. However, the situation gets complicated when packaged software is used. For example, a core ERP package does not cover, say, shipment, and customer custom software is developed to track this. Shipments need to be linked to order items, as we have seen. The order items must correspond to those maintained in the core ERP. So all these problems, consider the case of two major packages, say SCM and core ERP. SCM will also maintain order items and customer shipment details, which will have to be synchronized with the information stored in ERP. Further, when you add a CRM, customer information is being tracked in this system, which will remain synchronized. These problems, yeah, you just try to think that when you have separate and individual uh, recording of the information, it would be difficult to have any idea about those functions which are not under that particular domain or group. For that, there should be an overlap. There should be a software that has the facilities of ERP, SCM, or CRM, uh, it can integrate the functions and call from CRM the functions of ERP, or from ERP call the functions of SCM, and so on. Another consideration when dealing with this one enterprise software is SaaS, software as a service. Every cloud vendor would have its own this one software as a service guidelines. So sometimes a SaaS system would not provide all the three, whereas others would provide. It all depends on the SaaS provider. With that, we have done with chapter number 13. Now, tomorrow we will start with chapter number 14. Okay, students, any doubts? Okay, then bye. See you.